Well, hello and welcome back to another segment of Learning with Lindsey, where we talk with our very own meteorologist, Lindsey Gaffney, about the science behind the weather in our area. Specifically this week, Lindsey, we're talking about cold fronts and warm fronts and how those occur and what happens with them. So let's do it.
So I've talked about it before. When a warm front comes in, this is how it kind of looks when you're looking at the view. So you got your little grass, this is the sky. Okay, so when a warm front comes in, it comes in like at an angle, and it kind of settles slowly down and pushes the dense air up, which gives us those days of drizzle, of overcast. We may not always get rain, but we just get those days of just kind of dreary weather, and that's pretty self-explanatory. Happens pretty quickly. Now, our cold front comes in a lot faster, moving a lot quicker. Sometimes it does even catch up to a warm front that moves slower. And then we have the warm air already ahead of the cold front, shoots up and brings a lot of rising air up, bringing our thunderstorms, our supercells that we see a lot as well, especially during severe weather season. And we get more of that quick line of storms pushing through and a lot of cold air behind it. If we go to the next one, kind of just breaks it down a little bit more. So our warm front comes in at this angle, settles slowly, bringing that drizzle, not seeing a lot of thunderstorms. And then going to the next one, this is just like a bigger view of, on the next slide, bigger view of our cold front that comes in more at an angle, just pushing that warm air up. Now, going to the next slide, we also have a pretty tight pressure gradient. On the next slide, I'll show just about what that looks like and why we get those strong wind gusts.
But a lot of those cold fronts, that's where we get our thunderstorms from.
And we see, like we're seeing this week, windy Monday, Tuesday, windy on Friday, both ahead of those cold fronts moving through Wednesday and Friday. And it's because with not only is the cold front moving in a lot faster, you have this tight temperature gradient, so temperature difference, really warm air here, really cold air here, high pressure, a low pressure, and it just increases those wind gusts. The stronger the winds, the likelier we're going to see stronger storms, which is like what we're having Monday, Tuesday, some light winds, 25, 30 mile per hour wind gusts, some showers on Wednesday. On Friday, 60 mile per hour wind gusts and thunderstorms.
Yeah.
So that's how we have that. Depending on how strong that cold front's coming through is how strong that warm front, the warm air, is going to lift. And also here, that's where we've got our low pressure, our warm front, not seeing a lot of strong winds ahead of that because it moves in pretty slowly. But cold front can move in very quickly. You have this tight, all these lines are the gradient, the pressure gradient, low pressure here, warm pressure here. So we just have those winds pushing further into the low, pretty strong wind gusts, and it follows behind as well, pulling in a lot of cold air, and again, very strong wind gusts right behind that front because it's still shifting pressures, shifting temperatures, and that shifting wind direction.
Sure.
So that's why we see those strong, that's why we keep seeing those windy days ahead of our fronts that are coming through, especially in the springtime, because that cold front really makes a bigger difference when those warm temperatures are ahead of it compared to the cold temperatures behind it.
Another lesson well taught by our very own meteorologist, Lindsey Gaffney. 30 more minutes.